All right, Shams has dropped the bomb on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it, and he announced that the NBA is officially changing their All-Star format. Quote, the NBA's new 14 tournament style format for the 2025 All-Star game is expected to have two semifinal games played up to 40 points, with the winners advancing to the finals matchup to 25 points. That's four teams, three of them being NBA All-Star teams, one being a Rising Stars team. What is this? This is stupid. I'm sorry. This is dumb. Anything that the league tries to do to make this more entertaining is just shooting itself in the foot. It is. It's just making things more stupid and less palatable for your average NBA fan or casual basketball viewer. The only way to fix this game is to get these players to actually play hard in the game. And doing something like this is not going to get them to play hard. It's just not. You can try whatever you want to try. You can try. The only thing you can do is add an incentive that will get them motivated to play. And I don't know what that incentive looks like, because these are multi-millionaires who literally have everything in the world. So you can dangle a couple $100,000 or tens of $1,000s in front of them and tell them to play for it. And they might just go, no, not worth it. There's nothing you can do. There has to be some type of consequence for them not playing. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe you hang their cars over the arena like a piñata, and the losing team just gets their cars beat the shit out of them with baseball bats or something like that, so that they don't want their cars to be destroyed by the average fan. That will get some of them playing, I assume. I don't know what has to happen, but this is not it. There has to be something injected in these players that makes them want to give a damn about the game. This is not going to make them care. So to me, it's one of those things where it's like the All-Star game in general is broken. Not so much the weekend. I love the weekend, the slam dunk contest, the three-point contest, all those things. Those are great. But the game itself, until you figure out a way to incentivize players or have them face some type of consequence that's not as hyperbolic as what I just said. I'm kidding, obviously. Yes, let me just make sure that people know I am kidding.
He's joking. He's joking.
Yeah. This anything that you do with this just seems so silly to me. So silly to me.
Okay, we got a couple things, right? Whatever this format is, if it ends up being competitive, we're all gonna watch and we'll enjoy it. The problem is when you're reading it, you're like, this sounds stupid. But basically, you're just trying to condense a pickup game and make it more competitive for like whatever these small teams to play against each other, make it seem like more of a active game. Sure. I think maybe 3 years ago, whatever years ago, when they had when they implemented the Elam ending.
Yeah,
And
that was cool.
yeah, it was like the first. I think the first year they did it when they had like the kids that they were playing for the charities on the like the
Yeah.
sideline cheering, and that game ended up being competitive because like they kept it close to that like last quarter and ended up being like, okay, this is the last quarter competitive game, cool. The one issue when it comes to the All Star game and maybe even the All Star weekend that I see like media and everybody else keeps harping on. They're like, oh, the All Star game isn't competitive, it's boring, da 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 da. Like, look at the season as we are right now, right? How many stars are injured?
So many.
How
Yeah.
many like top players are like down?
Luka, Embiid, Paul George,
Like,
Jokic has been out, but he's not been. Yeah, like, you're right. There's
so
been a lot of
now you want
Steph was out for a bit.
these players. The whole thing's like you want these players to play a competitive game that doesn't count for anything. That's always like the main issue now. It's like you
Yeah.
want them to play a game that, yes, we're not saying that you should ever step on a court and have the fear of being injured or whatever. But it's like, let's say it does happen, your season is ruined, and I
Yeah.
think I feel like a lot of these players taken in consideration. Who said this? God, I'm drawing a blank right now. But the point was made that a lot of the in terms of like how players don't take the All Star game as serious started when during that Team USA exhibition when Paul George broke his leg
Yeah.
and he was down for basically it was like 2 years he didn't play, and it was like, what was that for? Like, the game didn't count. It was an exhibition. Now, I don't think any times I've watched All Star game I've seen an injury, so that doesn't really factor into it. But a lot of these players are more concerned about just being healthy, making the playoffs, and doing well in the playoffs. The All Star game doesn't like it's not a that it's hard to get them to care about it, and
Yeah,
that's
but
that
if you hang their Bugatti
you,
from the
from the
rafters,
they'll just get another one.
and
They'll they'll just, they'll just get another one, man. Like
no, but like
the
their favorite vehicle,
they'll just get
you
another one, the
can go
top of
to
the
the
top. Like
flyer. You
you know what's gonna happen? They're not even
can't
gonna they're not,
replace sentimental value, Kwab.
they're not even gonna pay for it. The company's just gonna send them a new one and make an ad out of it, so they don't. They're like, yeah,
God damn it.
we saw you.
Capitalism strikes again.
Yeah, we saw you lost. We saw you. We lost your car at All Star game. Well, we here at we here at Bugatti. We care about our customers. Here's a brand new one. Like I don't know, man. I just think again. I remember we had to take last year when we were talking about the dunk contest, and we're like, it's a lot of times it's hard for us to care about the dunk contest because we can look at our phones and see like the craziest dunks. It's not like when we're
Yeah.
young. It's like it doesn't. The All Star game doesn't necessarily have the same feeling that it had when we're younger. But like, yeah, cool. Like they try to something like, yeah, sure, try it. Maybe it'll work out. But if it doesn't, I'm like, cool. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not the market for the All Star game. I'll say that. I'm not the.
Okay.
I'm not the one that's like I need to tune in and watch the All. Like if it's I'll like I to me it's like it's cool, but it's not like a competitive like
It used to
game.
be though.
It
It
used to
used to
be
be.
back like
Yeah.
when we were young, but now it's like
Yeah.
it's like
I miss it being competitive. It was competitive the year Kobe died, the first year of the Elon ending too.
yeah.
That was the last time it was competitive. It's one of those things where it's like for the first time you get to see the best players in the world like compete against each other, and there's like a bunch of hypotheticals in your head that you can draw up, and it's fun. It's a really fun time for an NBA fan if they play against each other. But you're
If
right. It's like, why would they risk injury and potential years off their career and potential future contracts for an exhibition game? And I understand it. So it's not that I blame the players. It's just unfortunate. I just think it's one of those things where it's like there's really no blame to go around. I don't want to put blame on the players. Like you should be playing. It just is what it is. Like if I was an All Star, an NBA All Star, and I was like coming up on a contract year, if I got hurt in the All Star game, furious I would be. I'd be just or like on a team that could win it. Like I'm a Knicks fan. If Jalen Brunson like broke his wrist in the All Star game,
you'd be pissed. Like you'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
when you're playing, like if you think about it, even when you're playing, like you watch some of the plays that happen, it's like a player will like throw like a crazy alley oop, and the defender will just let it go because like it's an All Star
Yeah.
game, and that
Right.
that accumulates, and then all of a sudden it's like the score's 180 to 197 in the third quarter, and you're like, yo, what the fuck is this? But like.
Yeah.
It's like we got to decide, do you want a show or do you want like you want a hard ass played game? Like that's I think one of the
Mm.
reasons the NBA is trying to find some like a competitive balance and like an outlet. That's why they started an in-season tournament, which has done really well.
Yeah.
And now they're trying this. I mean it's cool. Hopefully it works out, but I'm just like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. I don't know if there's an answer to the problem that they're having right now. I think it's going to turn into what the Pro Bowl is for the NFL, where just no one cares.
when
And
they're
it's
when they're playing
flag
touch.
football.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It is what it is. I mean, that's just the evolution of the game, I guess. But whatever.